So welcome back, guys. This is Maruk's Vlogs, and today I'm gonna try out the new Z900. This is how it looks like. Looks really beautiful. Gonna try it out, go for a little ride, and I'll tell more about it on the way. So this is how the dashboard looks like. Looks really beautiful. So the first impression I get is that, oh yeah, I forgot to adjust the mirrors. The first impression that I get from this motorcycle is that it's very nimble, actually. Oh, there's a lot of gravel here. It's actually very nimble, and the Z series of the Kawasaki is the naked version of Kawasaki's own bikes, as far as I can tell. And this one is really nice, actually. I forgot to adjust the mirrors. That's why I can't see so good on the back, actually. But I really get a nice, good impression on this bike. The seat is very comfortable, actually. Which means I'm restricted, actually. But this one is the A2 class Z900, and man, the engine is so smooth. I can already tell from sitting on this bike to giving it gas that it's actually very nice. I really like this dashboard too. I wish that maybe I know the Z series of these bikes don't have like a windshield because they're the naked version. But I would love to see like a windshield on this one to cover up. I think that would be a great improvement on this bike, actually. Even though I know that it's not supposed to have one, I just feel like it would be a benefit to this bike. Maybe some people will be like, oh, it has a windshield, that's not so Z-series stylish, you know. But for me, see how it handles the corner. It handles it very well. This is actually a 948cc bike, and like it has how much? It delivers, if I remember right, it delivers 125 horsepower at 7,700 RPM. Last time I read. That's not bad for a bike, actually. I'm gonna stand here. That's not really bad. But I really get a first good impression on this bike, I have to say. It's very nice. It's very light too, which is like what I was expecting when I jumped on this bike. I was expecting it to be very nimble, because last time I was trying out the Z300 and that bike was so f***ing nimble. It was like really light, you know. Let's see if I can. There we go. Just like that. Great. that was beautiful. Just a little test ride, and honestly I'm really impressed. That was really nice. That was very calm, easy. It's not very loud too. See, let's put down the kickstand real quick. Perfect, great. So what are my thoughts so far? I did only ride a little bit of this bike. I wasn't driving much. A little information about this bike. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 348cc bike with 4 cylinders, which is really nice. Because I have the A2 license, I'm a little bit restricted, so I can't put like full gas on this machine. I can't explore the full potential of this bike because of that, but you still get this almost the same feeling, at least for me. So what do we have? Well, I don't know the sizes of the disc brakes, so, but like as I said, 4 cylinders, 948cc bike, really strong actually. It has LED lights here on the back, on the rear actually, and it's supposed to have LED lights on the front also. I did a little research. I wasn't quite sure, but I think there are LED lights on the front also, but it doesn't really look like that, so I'm not entirely sure. The suspension, it was a little bit bumpy on the way here, and I think it handled it pretty well. That was actually not too bad, you know. Then we have the normal blinkers, no LED blinkers, unfortunately. I would love to see LED blinkers on this kind of model, and the same for the rear, also no LED blinkers, just standard blinkers. And then we have like the sound. The sound is actually quiet, but not at the same time. I kind of like that sound. It's very nimble. Like the sound makes the whole bike feel great, you know. It makes the bike so it feels very great that way. As I mentioned before, I have tried the Z300, and last time I tried it, there was one problem I had with these Z series models from Kawasaki, and that was these mirrors. I felt like these were a little bit like too far, like they felt very weird actually, and then I forgot to adjust them also. I don't like the style of these mirrors because I'm the type of guy that appreciates sport bikes, which I should probably stop doing eventually. So this is how it looks like. This is a huge tank. I forgot how big, how much it can, like how much it has, but I figure it will be somewhere around 14 to 17 liters, which I assume is really like quite a lot for a bike. It's enough. I think it's enough. My R3 has 14 liters and it looks almost the same size, so I'm probably guessing this has more than that actually. So what do we have on the front? Well, we have we have the different lights for your front. You have warning. You have the warning lights, which is not on. Let's see. Here and here. This is something my R2 doesn't have. So this is actually cool. The warning lights, which you can see here. We have the blinkers for left, and we have for right. We have this one for the cell, which is not very huge sound, but it kind of sounds the same as my R3, so doesn't matter, it's still the same. Brake fluid here, and like the suspension front is really nice. It's really light. This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this. I really like this. And then we have the kill switch. Nothing too special. And then you can start it. The start switch. And from the dashboard, you can see that we have here on this side, we can see how much fuel we have left from top to bottom, empty and full. Here you can see the time, which is not adjusted right now, so this is not actual my time right now. The temperature of the engine, you can see the gear in the middle, which is really nice. And then you can have your RPM range like this. So if you give a little bit, you will see that come up all the way here. And then your neutral sign, your blinkers on each side, and then this sign for full light. And then you have ABS, which of course this model has ABS, which is no surprise. I don't know how much the non-ABS version of this, how it is with the non-ABS version of this bike, but I'm guessing they don't do that. They don't have a version which doesn't have ABS so far, or so yet actually. I was testing the brakes when I was out on these bumpy roads, and I was actually impressed. It has 2 calipers on the front for the brakes. My R3 has 1, but they respond really well. And I really like that. And the thing with the naked versions of the naked version of the bikes is that you can do a lot of work on them, and they're actually quite what the hell, they're actually quite where was I? All right, so we have we have 2 different calipers on the front, and we have 1 on the rear. And I was testing both of them, and they respond really well, and I actually like that. What else? The exhaust, it's quiet, which is supposed to be, if you're gonna make like long trips, that's actually very comfortable. That's actually very comfortable for your ears. Sounds great actually. When you rev it up, it sounds actually really great. If you were to put on a slip-on, probably that would sound even better. But I guess slip-on is probably, I would only probably change like the slip-on for this. I would put a slip-on for this one only. I wouldn't like do more modifications on this bike to make it sound great, because as far as I can suppose, like, it would sound great with only a slip-on, because the engine makes a really nice sound to it when you rev it up, or when you put gas. Well, there's, I guess, like, the seat is perfect. I actually like the seat. As I said, I'm not sure about the passenger seat. Perfect. They perform really well. They're great, and the front even better. And the thing I forgot to mention, yeah, I skipped that part. The thing with these naked bikes is that they're very like open. You see, I can see the filter from here, and you can see the exhaust gaskets here. And each one, 4 of them, and you can do like things here for your Z900 without any huge problems. If you're gonna do oil changes and stuff like that yourself, that shouldn't be a huge problem. The tires, I'm not sure what kind of tires there are. This is Dunlop tires, as it says here, Dunlop. I don't think they're really meant for very difficult, like very curvy roads, but I still assume they should perform well on some roads. It depends on the road also. LED on the rear, as I said before, and that's pretty much about it. Like, the seat is perfect, the dashboard looks great, you have everything that you need to know on the front. The rear suspension is actually also great. I can actually try that out also. So if I do like this, I bump it a little. Yeah, it's comfortable. I mean, you could probably, yeah, it's comfortable. It's just me overreacting. It's actually very comfortable, and the front is even more comfortable actually. Then you have these ones. As I mentioned on my previous review video, I always want to change these, the handlebars, because I'm not a huge fan of stock levers, you know, as I mentioned before. Maybe one thing that I see with these Z series models, some people who own them, they usually change these and they put one here on each side of the handlebar. So that's something that could make these disappear and make the bike look much better. And another thing that I mentioned before is that when I was driving on the road, I was mentioning that maybe they put like a they would put a windshield for this one. That's something they could do. I see that we have this one. It's very tiny. It's very tiny. Maybe they could put a little bigger one. That would probably make a huge difference when riding on the highway for a while. You don't want that wind to come towards you, I guess. It's gonna be annoying after a while. They really did a great job on this bike. I really like it. As far as I can tell from riding it for almost like 10 or 15 minutes, yeah, I can tell for sure that it's a really comfortable bike. And I would, if I had the money to buy this one, I would probably buy this one, just because how comfortable it is. It has it's something with this bike which my R3 doesn't like give me, like kind of pleasure, you know, which lacks on the R3, which this one has, that makes it more comfortable to ride with. So it's probably the sound, you know, but there's a few other things. And my R3 is a budget bike also. This one, yeah, they have put up more details to this bike, but still, this is a very comfortable bike. I really like what they did to this one. In terms of the sound, this is how it sounds like. Sounds really great actually. With that stock exhaust, it sounds decent, you know, it sounds perfect. It sounds how it should be. But if you were to put on a slip-on, I think this bike will turn out to be even better, you know, after that. Well, let's take let's put it on first gear and let's drive away. All these cars are always passing by, and that's annoying me. But the brakes, I'm testing the brakes now actually. Let's see. You see that? That was a really good braking. That was really good braking actually. And it's actually no surprise. It's a new bike. It has double calipers on the front. So, and like everything is new on this bike. But man, it feels good. And you're, in comparison to the, like my R3, you're not leaned forward on this bike. Like you're standing upright on this bike, which feels great, you know. You can ride this bike without having to worry that your back is gonna break, you know. Look at this. Alright, so okay. That was actually really nice. And I'm only applying rear brake. I'm only applying braking on the rear brake. And it takes it really well. So the rear brake shows that the rear brake is actually very good. And the front, as you saw earlier, now we'll do the front actually. That was really good also. I really want to buy this bike now. The biggest thing with this bike is that it's so funny to ride. I've been only riding it for like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm already like, I'm in tears right now. This is great. It has so much power. Look. That was great. That was great. I'm sure. Every time you put, like, every time you rev up, it will give you a smile when you're on this bike. Trust me. I'm smiling right now because this bike is so nice to drive. It's so comfortable, and there's actually like no like when you're sitting and you're driving, whether you're revving hard or not, or if you're driving casually, there's literally like no vibration. Gives you a smile, I'm telling you. It's very comfortable. That's the thing that I love about this bike. It's so comfortable to ride, and you can just like rev it up. I seriously can't feel any vibration on the seat. I can't feel anything. I can actually feel some vibration, sometimes hard vibration on my R3, but this one, I know my R3 is a 2-cylinder bike, and this one is 4-cylinder, but still, holy shit. And there's my R3, and man, what a comfortable bike. That was the best ride. Wow, I haven't really experienced that type of riding. Even with my R3 I don't feel that way, but riding this, like, holy damn, like, that feels great. It feels fantastic. This is a really nice bike. And it has everything, just like the other Z series bikes. 4 cylinders, the exhaust, everything, LED lights. Maybe you could style it a little bit with LED lights, blinkers, LED blinkers. I think that would be a huge improvement. And the slip-on, of course. And then you would have a perfect bike, which is so comfortable to ride, sounds great, is very ergonomic, and you will just be amazed to sit on this machine and go for a ride, and it will give you a smile. It will put a smile on your face every time you go. It's really a great bike. So that kind of sums up my review on the Z900. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.